Good morning, I'm Wade Weaver with you. 105.9 The Bash and the My Bash Morning Jam. And Amanda Brinkman from the Small Business Revolution. She's driving in from Indianapolis as we speak. Yes, braving the rain today. You know, it's been almost a year now since we bid Amanda and her team a fond farewell, as she's back to kind of see how we're doing. They've started working on season 2 up there in Bristolboro, Pennsylvania. And, you know, they kind of want to know from us what worked, what didn't. Have things gone back to the way they were before that crazy show came to town? Or did Wabash really change for good?
It's exciting being back on the road to Wabash, but it's also a little nerve-wracking. A lot of the things we worked on in this town needed time to come to fruition. This is the first time we're really going to see the true impact of this project. The drive-in takes me back to the very first time Robert and I arrived in Wabash. And it's important to remember where they were then, so we can get a measure of how far they've come.
Years ago, Wabash was booming. And then, like a lot of the Midwest, just started losing industrial base. Downtown started dying.
We saw a lot of mortgage foreclosures. It was a story all over the country.
When the factory started closing, we lost quite a few people.
What do you end up with? You end up with a shell of a community. Walmart and a Target out on the edge of town, and no personality, no love.
We need to re-identify who we are.
How do we rebuild? You start with the core of where community began.
Small towns across the country are fighting for their survival, with the odds stacked against them. But what happens if we join that fight? If we dedicate a little money, a lot of experience, and thousands of hours of work into one small town, focusing on the businesses at the heart of their main street? Nearly 10,000 people wrote in to tell us about their favorite community, and the country voted for one winner. Now, marketing expert Amanda Brinkman and her team at Deluxe are going to work for the people of Wabash, Indiana, to see if we can change the odds. If together, we can start a revolution.
Driving back into Wabash, it feels like coming home. I can't wait to reconnect with everyone and see how far they've come. But my first stop has to be Modocs, to meet with town leaders Steve and Christine and talk about the overall impact to Wabash.
It's so good to be back.
Great to see you again. It's just wonderful. It really is.
It feels like the momentum is continuing. Is that just a perception that I have, or?
I don't think we've ever really had a letdown. Do you?
I don't either.
Have you guys seen any kind of measurable benefits?
I know that we have had a significant increase in our social media following and where people were visiting our website from.
Have you noticed an increase in tourism?
Absolutely. Without a doubt.
On almost a daily basis, somebody will come in with a story about how they've heard about us because of Small Business Revolution. They've seen parts of the series.
Yep. And the 6 featured businesses are now sharing with other businesses what they've learned and tactics that have worked. And so it's that ripple just keeps going.
We're more invested in each other's lives and each other's businesses.
Yeah. You were both presented with checks for Visit Wabash and Wabash Marketplace. What have you used the funds for?
Ours is set aside for what Steve and I have been calling Small Business Revolution 2.0, to put together sustainability programs for these businesses.
I think that sustainability piece is something that many towns struggle with, and actually something we may want to look into helping towns with post-Small Business Revolution.
Businesses, they sit there and they're doing this day after day after day, and they go, I think I'm doing this right, I hope I'm doing this right.
Yep.
And I'm not saying you have to hold their hand for the rest of their lives, but when you leave, tell them, okay, now periodically you're going to have to do this, this, and this to keep this maintained.
Absolutely. So leaving them kind of with a good playbook.
I love the idea of the playbook. That's phenomenal.
You can't solve for all the problems with any one given project. And what we love about this community is how you guys have taken that spark and you've really fanned the flame. We love hearing about the continued success.
And I think for me, that was what was so meaningful, as you saw us.
And that's important. That's important to us, because this kind of stuff doesn't happen very often in a town like Wabash.
We've gotten so much recognition, and it's good for the whole town. It wasn't just for those 6 businesses, you know. We've all benefited from us.
I think people almost doubted it at first, and then when you're telling them, no, this happened, and they helped these 6 businesses, made concrete changes that you can see, and they actually meant something. So that's cool, and that brings people together.
My marketing class, my college and careers class, we've all viewed the videos. They see somebody and I'm like, oh, yeah, I know that guy. Hey, that guy's my pastor. And that's, kind of one of the things we try to teach them is if you want to be that entrepreneur, you can do it here in little old Wabash.
It's going to push us to be bigger, to be better. We're always going to be growing. We're always going to be changing with the new technology and what's going on in the world. Everything will push us to move forward.
Deluxe really helped create a fire, create a vision that led to momentum that now people want to carry on.
I think our biggest example of that is the new brewery. They came to Wabash and visited just because they saw Small Business Revolution.
You're finally sitting there going, I told you. My brother, I keep telling him, hey, this is a cool town. Yeah, whatever. And then I'm like, see?
Every small town should have this experience.
You're listening to the My Bash Morning Jam on 105.9 The Bash, and today is a good day in Wabash because we are with Amanda Brinkman from Deluxe Corporation, and you guys are back in town. Let's talk about my favorite thing to talk about, and that's Wabash. What do you think a year later?
I'm amazed with how the energy still seems really high. That was something that we all talked about. How do we keep this momentum going? How do we keep that flame alive? And I'm just so pleased to see that everyone in Wabash is kind of taking this momentum and running with it.
What would you say for us to do next as a community, as small businesses? What's your thought?
I think a lot of small businesses will feel like they can't afford to spend money on marketing or on advertising. And in many cases, you can't afford not to. Mm-hmm. Growth is reliant on new customers. We've been talking to Steve and Christine a lot about some of their plans around helping small businesses continue to grow once they open. So is there a way that Wabash can support the small business community in a more sustainable way?
All right, so this is Amanda Brinkman from Deluxe Corporation. This is the My Bash Morning Jam. We're going to take a quick break. Come right back.
The overall picture for the town is looking good. Now it's time to check out some of these individual businesses to see if they're having the same kind of success.
Welcome back to Wabash.
Oh, it's so great to be back.
It's so good to have you. Do you remember when you came, you were my first bride to sign my wall?
Yes.
Well, it's filling up.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Look at that.
I love it. I love it. Overall, for the first quarter, we're up 65%.
Oh my gosh, you're killing it.
Since January, I have been able to pay myself. And that was always a goal of mine. That's when I thought, okay, we might be making it if I can pay myself. It's hard to talk about all this and not get emotional.
Good to see you. And you're Alex. Yes. Hi. How are sales? How do you feel like the year's going?
We ended the year with a 36% increase.
That's amazing.
It's a celebration.
We've started to see customers coming in from further away. We're getting less and less small tattoos and more people coming in that are going, we want you to do your style.
So you're thinking about selling the retail store?
Yeah. We decided the first thing to do is get it profitable. Chris has got it in the black. I'll give him all the credit. And this time of the year, we expect to be in the red. So, cutting to the chase, I think he would be a great owner, is what I was getting at.
Yeah. Sales are up about roughly 10 to 15% from last year.
That's good.
And now that we've done Instagram, we've sold things that we've posted on Instagram pictures. We know we're 10% ahead of what we were last year. We don't just think, we know that because we are looking at our numbers every single day. That's something we never ever did before.
So you both left your other jobs and are working at Harry's full time.
Yes.
That's exciting. Do you feel more comfortable, more at peace, not having to have two different things in your head at all times?
Yeah.
And the numbers are up?
Numbers way up, yes.
Okay. You're up
50% from last year.
That's incredible. So that's everyone. But before we head to the Big Town Potluck tonight, we're making one last stop at the Charlie Creek Inn because there's one more question I really want to ask everyone. How do you guys feel about the season in general? Do you feel like it told your stories accurately? Well?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Pretty neat having, people come to see you and they act like they know you.
People loved Harry, but people thought you seemed like a lot of fun.
I especially like the close-ups of my big head. That was pretty awesome.
We get a lot of feedback that this Wade sounds dreamy. So.
Oh my gosh. I didn't like being on camera. I have 2 chins, but on TV there's 4.
It was fun. It was tiring. It was exhausting. Like, this is harder than you would think it would be to be filmed and to be honest and to be vulnerable.
Putting yourself out there and trying to be real and authentic at the same time it's tough.
It was a little humbling for everyone to know I had a cash flow problem, but I had a lot of other bridal store owners who saw the video and said, we feel everything that you said.
I was very scared, honestly, before the episode aired. I was nervous, but the amount of messages and phone calls that we've gotten, people have just really reached out, and it's been very humbling.
It's been wonderful so far. I think before we were there for each other and we're close as friends, but we're family now and so much more. Salud. All right, let's do a cheers. Cheers. Family.
It's an honor to raise a glass with such fine people. But this was never just about the 6 businesses. It was about the entire town. And Wabash is unsurprisingly setting us off as warmly as they welcomed us in.
Our thanks to Deluxe Corporation and to all of you in the room. It was just an experience that none of us will ever forget.
It really just affirmed that we aren't in it alone and that there are other people out there struggling, and it's okay. And it's okay to put your story out there and really take in that advice and listen.
You definitely soak it all in.
Yeah.
I mean,
embrace the change.
Yes. I mean, the advice.
Use it all for what it's worth. It's only going to make things better.
Just have fun and enjoy it. Definitely.
The truth is, our time in Wabash meant more than any of us could have imagined. And looking to the next chapter in Bristolboro, we just hope we can have the same kind of impact we had here. But you never forget your first love, and this place will be a part of us for the rest of our lives.
The hit show Small Business Revolution Main Street is back for season 2.
This is one of our newer retail shops.
Amanda Brinkman and her experts at Deluxe have landed in Bristolboro, Pennsylvania, and they brought along entrepreneur Robert Herjavec and a whole cast of experts to help the town's small businesses thrive.
Any kind of change that's worth it, scary.
Every episode, we'll be working with a new small business.
You really build us up.
And together, we can start a revolution. Now streaming on Hulu and smallbusinessrevolution.org.